Hey guys, Rubber Tramp Renegade here. Today I'm out in the garage. I've got the body of the camper off of the trailer. The trailer's sitting out there in the driveway. I've put a couple coats of paint on it and it's looking good. But what I'm going to get started on here is what they call poor man's fiberglass. Now I have used real fiberglass before with the resin and the fiberglass cloth, but this is a little cheaper. And I guess that's why it gets the name poor man's fiberglass. But basically what it is Titebond 2 wood glue, canvas drop cloth that you use for painting. I picked these up at Home Depot. They're seamless. They don't have any seams in them except for the edges, which I am going to cut off. But I'm probably going to start here on the bottom. That way I can get the bottom done and get it flipped back over and not have to flip this thing over too many times. But basically what you do, you put the glue down onto the wood and you coat the wood with glue. You put the cloth down, press it down, and then put another coat of glue on top, and it creates a waterproof barrier. I'm going to start here on the bottom, and this is going to come up over the edge. You can see I've got a little lip here where that goes on the frame, but I'm going to come up here to this corner with the bottom section, and then my outside section on my sides will end up curving over. Now I did go ahead and put this in the dryer, try to get some of these wrinkles out. We'll test it and see how it works. If the wrinkles don't come out on the bottom side, when I get ready to do the sides and the top, I probably will actually take an iron to the cloth and get those wrinkles out. But for the bottom, I'm not too worried about it since you're not going to see it. But I'm going to go ahead and get started. Alright guys, so I've got that trimmed up basically where it's going to fit. I'm going to probably put something heavy on one side to keep it in place and then flip it up and then glue down one side and then stick it down. Once that's set up, I'll start on the other side. But I want to say if you're going to do this, get a good pair of scissors, because these drop cloths, they fray a little bit when you cut them, but using a sharp pair of scissors really helps stop the fraying as much as possible. But I picked these up at Harbor Freight. Now I know that's usually cheap stuff, but this this set of scissors here was about $10, but they've been worth it so far. But I'm going to go ahead and peel that up and start gluing it down and see how it turns out. Alright, well, I've got some wood here to hold this up, and I decided to flip it up this way because this is going to be the hardest part right in here in these corners. I've got a few things here. I don't know exactly what I'm going to use because I've never done this before. I've seen people use rollers, brushes. I've got a good brush. This brush has been around for a while. It's kind of stiff. I think it'll work best. A stiffer brush will work with a process like this. Then I've also got this Bondo spreader that you would use for Bondo or fiberglass. But I'm going to start with this, see how it works. I'm going to spread the glue out with it, put the cloth down, and spread that down. And I may have to roll it out. I don't know. We'll just see how it goes. Alright guys, well I ended up using a mixture of the spreader, the Bondo spreader, the paintbrush and the roller. I started out with the spreader, spread the glue. I put the cloth down and I spread it down with the spreader. On the edges here, I had to use the brush to get in there. The spreader really wasn't working, so I did that, and then I used the roller afterwards. After I put glue on top, and then used the roller to spread it out. So that turned out pretty good. I came up a little shy right here, but my side piece I may be able to wrap that over just a little bit on each side to kind of overlap the seams. Right here, probably the same thing. I'll probably have to wrap it around that way, but I'm pretty happy with how it turned out so far. I'm going to peel that back and start going that way and try to get the bottom done today. I've turned the camper over on its side and went ahead and got one side. I showed you the bottom that I did right here, and then right here is kind of where I overlap. That's running a little bit right now. I'll wipe that down, but it turned out pretty good. I'm gonna overlap everything. You can see I've just cut it over just a little bit, and the top of that will just go right up to the edge, so there won't be any seams that are not sealed. Everything should be waterproof, but that's poor man's fiberglass for you. I did find that the little Bondo knife here, I did find this works better on the second coat. Once you put the Titebond on the top and spread it out with this, it uses less of the glue and it makes a smoother finish. So I'm glad I figured that out on the sides. The bottom's a little rougher than the sides, but you won't see it anyways. I've got the glue turned upside down right here, draining out because I did go through one complete jug. So I'm going to try to save as much as I can off of that one and stretch it out. I really only have the top, the back, and one more side. I think I'll have enough glue. If not, I do have another little bottle up there. So that's poor man's fiberglass. I'll show you when it's all done, when I get ready to paint this thing. Thanks for watching. Y'all have a good one.